Hey YouTubers, and welcome back for another build video. I got another one in store for you guys. Today we're covering the Predator build in 1.5, so let's hop right into it. Let's get it. Alright guys, starting right off, diving right into your 1.5 Predator build. There's many ways to put together this build, different ways you choose to put them together. The 4-piece of a Predator build is, for a 2-piece you get 10% reload speed, for a 3-piece you get 8% assault rifle, 8% SMG, and then for the 4-piece, every 10 consecutive shots without switching a target, doesn't matter if you whiff a couple, but as long as all 10 consecutive shots are in one person, so if I hit you twice, miss 3, then hit you another 3 times, that still counts as 5. It puts a bleed on the target for 50% of the damage already dealt by those bullets. Previously to 1.5, it used to be 100%. They thought that was a little too much, a little too strong in 1.5, so they did nerf it a bit. But Predator nonetheless is still a great build to run. On this build, you can see it's quite different than the gold build, which is everyone should know is my fave to run. On this build, I am running 5,897 firearms. I'm running 6,172 STAM and 2,818 electronics. On this particular build, I am using a variety of STAM and armor mods, along with, let's see here, I have one. On this guy, we're doing all STAM mods and armor, but we have more spec. We have a 2-spec STAM and a 3-spec firearms. So all STAM mods still, but we do not have my standard 3 STAM main stats to firearms. So we have this build set up just a little bit differently. For my weapons, I am running a Lavoa AC, LVO AC, and also an MP5 ST. As you can see, also the combination of the firearms and the 8% boost from the gear set helps out greatly with base weapon damage on this build. Talents, I am running Vicious, Brutal, and Competent on my LVO AC. On my Navy MP5, I have Deadly, Vicious, and Destructive. I'm gonna take a quick sec here and kind of address some things real quick with weapon attachments. Something that I don't always cover in my vids, but it's something I will start to cover more. I want to debunk something really quickly where people say you just need to go all crit damage, need to go don't really focus on stability, just get better aim. That's totally false. You need to, especially on weapons like the lightweight M4 and the LVOAC, which naturally, without any control, have a rise to the top. The lightweight M4, you have more of a side to side kind of movement. So these two weapons are ones in which you definitely need to focus on some stability with them. The only time that may not apply is running a striker build, but we'll cover that in another video. On this one here, I opted for a 12% stability, 5%, basically 5.5 headshot and 3% scope on this instead of the standard 12x scope, which is like 18 or 19% headshot, 6% crit, and like 3%, 6% headshot and then 3% crit. So 18% headshot, 3% crit, and then like 4 a crit hit damage. It varies in the combination, but it's basically there for headshot damage. So instead of choosing headshot damage to stack more DPS into it, I'm one that think of attachments in this way. The more stable your weapon is, the more shots you hit. Your DPS is factored, basically thinking as you're going to do 339,000 DPS per second if you hit every shot. Okay, if you're hitting every shot. So what they're not taking into account is aiming. If you're a potato aimer, if you don't hit every shot, right? And where does that come into? 1, it's the player, and 2, it's the attachments. The harder it is for you to control the recoil on your weapon, the more potato aim you have. So naturally, if you're able to aim more stably at your target, the more shots you hit, in return, the more DPS you do. Now, some argue, well, if I catch you just right and I have a higher DPS output because I have more damage, that means per bullet I'm hitting you harder. That's true, but statistically, more stability means more accuracy. Meaning is that even if you hit me 5 times, if I hit you 20, my 20 bullets will still equal more damage than your 5. So that is kind of what my thought process is with attachments. So think about that when you're doing your weapon talents or weapon attachments on your weapons. Do keep that in mind. So pretty much not too much glamour to this build other than a 4-piece Predator with, of course, a specialized backpack, which is mandatory. 200% of your firearms and stam is converted over to skill power. And as always, I'm always running ammo capacity and on my chest and my backpack. And on this build, I am running SMG gloves. I run SMG gloves a little bit different when it comes to Savage. A lot of people do like assault rifle damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Well, since I'm running an alpha, or since I'm running a Predator build, I prefer having crit hit chance with SMG and assault rifle because those two really help out the build. So on these particular Savage gloves, I have Savage, crit chance, and assault to make this build work. Now, a other version of this build that will work really well is one with Barrett and Savage, which I will cover that in a different video as well. But I wanted to show you what my basic Predator build is that I run right now. And I run this because I want a stronger booster shot heal in combination with my competent. This build is meant to be more of strong DPS and a harasser build. So if you see me when I pop my booster shot, you can see what my damage spikes to, 418, and I'm going to hit you pretty hard, and I'm going to put a nice good tick on you as well. So I want that kind of damage output, and that's one of the reasons why Specialized is so important with a Predator build running booster to try to compete with the current Alpha Breach meta at this point. So moving on to some things that you should definitely also think about is your talents. I covered them previously, but for our skills first, Conceal and Booster Shot, which a majority of people run for a reason, and that's because Booster Shot gives you temporary increased damage and damage resilience. While you get more of a heal from Overdose, you get more stats that go to your survivability and DPS with Booster Shot, even without running your Vigorous chest pieces. Your talents pretty much the same as I run on my gold build. There's On the Move. Killing a target, killing a hostile or a target while on the move gives you 30% damage reduction for 10 seconds. Med kit for adrenaline. If you pop it and you're not at full health, you get an overheal. You go down and we look at your combat medic. This is a really good one that people need to run a lot more. Popping a med kit as long as your people are within 20 meters of you, pop a med kit and they get 40% of your heals. And then we have critical save. If you're down low on your health, popping a med kit also gives you 40% damage resilience. So you think about you're taking a lot of damage as a team. You pop your med kit. Not only are you healing your team for 40% extra, you also are taking 40% less damage. It's a really good trade-off and a really good team mechanic to have. So definitely some good things to have on the build are those key talents. Now, of course, run what's comfortable to you, but those are ones I like myself. Moving on, let's just go over quickly some notes and things that you guys should definitely take away and keep on your mind. Figure out what you want to do with the build, as always. Start out with a plan. Whether you want to be more DPS or you want to be more tanky, the trade-off is real here with this build, so definitely running a lower firearms on this build will not be the same result as in a gold build like I run. So you are penalized very heavily on running lower firearms on this build versus the stam tankiness. Attachments and mods greatly matter too as well. We already covered those things. Stam armor mods, firearm armor. Make sure you have armor on your chest, backpack, knees, and holster. Make sure that they have main stat armor rolls on all of them in conjunction with the armor mods. Get your mitigation up as high as you can. This build I'm running 55.9. Which they don't include the 0 in the division, so it's actually 55.09 is what I'm running on this build. So definitely get those things in there. It's highly important to do it. Next thing, the firearms and stamina mods. We already covered that. Your weapon talents, those things matter greatly on this build too as well. The vicious, the brutal, the competent, all those things go into giving that good, nice, juicy stack of damage. Now, of course, you would see a lot more if you had that Barrett chest piece, but it's a trade-off whether or not you want to specialize with the booster and with the extra skill power, or you want the Barrett chest piece. It all depends on what you want. So the 5% from Barrett does help. Then the 10% with the 2 talents are down does help a lot for toughness and survivability. So most people pick Barrett with Savage with any build right now. The last part of it is just think about with the Predator build what your role is. You are going to be able to do a lot of DPS to people, but you're going to be able to harass a lot of people. So putting damage on somebody to make them bleed is good, and trying to take them down is awesome, but also think about harassing the more heavy DPSers that you're opposing. So if you're fighting people and you are able to pick out the guy that's really doing a ton of damage to the team, you as the Predator build would probably want to harass that individual more and get some more focus fire going their way. But that is pretty much it. That's my gold build all together. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys. I am out of here, and I'll see you on Twitch. Later, guys.